So Leonard, where did you train or study?
Well, my first formal acting classes came at the age of 14. I studied at a very renowned school named Weiss Ryan, which is out of New York. I believe they had an LA branch at one time. And my first classes were in film and commercial technique. Got certificates in those classes. Took part in some community theater and sort of went that route, and then ultimately into semi-professional theater. And then got accepted into a few colleges, a few great art schools, the American Musical and Dramatic Academy, Montclair State, University of the Arts, and then ultimately Fordham University, which is where I chose to go study theater there. And then actually a few years later went back to a local community college, took some really good Stanislavski courses, and then privately I've done some Meisner training and some courses in voice and movement. So that's my training.
So, which do you prefer, stage or film?
Wow. I enjoy both, actually. My roots are in theater. I find that, well, let me say this, film, I guess my aspirations were always to be a film actor. I think film suits my artistic sensibilities, if that makes sense. I sort of live by the motto as an actor that I've never cared much about acting. I've always cared more about showing people glimpses of themselves, which is a quote from the late George C. Scott. So I live by that. So for me, film, the hyper realistic nature of film better serves me, I think, as opposed to theater. But I adore theater, and in fact, I try to coexist in both worlds.
So, if you were to say have a favorite role, what would it be?
Wow, another good question. On stage, I've had the privilege of playing, I've done 3 August Wilson plays in a row to play some of his protagonists, Boy Willie, Levy, and Loomis. Those are super characters to play. And then I'd have to make mention of a world premiere piece I did, a character, Maxwell Freeman, who was a special investigator, and so on stage. Definitely on film, it would probably be Frank Dodgson in High-Low, which recently came out on DVD, and Bishop Richard Allen, which is also on DVD.
So Leonard, who are your favorite actors?
Wow. Well, for me, it starts with, I think, 2 guys who I try to model my career after, Morgan Freeman and James Earl Jones. Both of those guys operate in the stage world, in the film world, and in the voiceover world, and that's certainly very reflective of my career at this point. Denzel Washington, for sure. I mean, he was a childhood hero of mine, and actually the reason I aspired to go to Fordham University. The elder statesmen in the business, 2 guys who are retired now, actually, Gene Hackman and Sidney Poitier. But other actors like Tom Hanks, I absolutely love. Jeff Bridges, Michael T. Williamson, Ed Harris. These are Lawrence Fishburne. These are definitely some of my favorite actors.
Are there any roles that you still want to play?
Oh yeah, definitely. Probably a little bit of a shock to most because the play wasn't really out that long, but certainly want to play Magic Johnson on Magic Bird. Dr. King in The Mountaintop. These are, talking about stage. Jack Johnson, The Great White Hope, I'd love to play. There's still a few Wilsonian, August Wilson pieces that I'd love to do. On film, I guess it's hard to say on film because you're talking about projects to come, if that makes sense. But I guess on film, any role that sort of fits my personal log line or acting log line as the tall, likable, professional, athletic guy with edge and authority. So any role that sort of suits that or kind of stretches the boundaries of that a little bit, I'm certainly interested in.